Welcome, ladies and gents. I'm Dan the Man Muñoz, host of Movie Menu Reviews, live on Facebook.
Live!
Hello. This is episode 159.
Yeah, wow.
159.
We're almost at we're almost WARP.
It's real.
It is
Yes,
real.
It's real. Oh my god.
Someone who is here to make it real is our special guest, Christopher A. Velasco.
Yay.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome back, Chris.
Yes.
Always happy to have you here. And also here, who I'm not happy to have. No, I'm just kidding. Is my co-host and senior panelist, Z.
Yes.
Welcome, Z. Also here is my co-host, Mike Stan.
Yay. Thank you. Yay! Thanks for the clap.
The energy died out at the very end.
I know. No more energy. The show's over.
Yeah.
So again, we're going to do the whole show live. So thank you for joining us on Facebook Live. We're going to go ahead and move on to some movie news of the week, and then we're going to move on to our review for Annabelle Creation afterwards. So first up, we're going to talk about is the new trailer that popped out by Darren Aronofsky called Mother!
With the exclamation point. Well done.
Yeah.
So the movie stars Jennifer Lawrence, Javier Bardem, Ed Harris, and Michelle Pfeiffer. And the movie trailer basically is very ambiguous because there's not much of a plot that's given away in the trailer. The only thing I get is that Javier Bardem and Jennifer Lawrence are the worst hosts of Airbnb. So that's what it seems like. These guys are there for Airbnb, and Jennifer Lawrence is having a hissy fit, and then, you know, stuff happens.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about the trailer for Mother?
I really enjoyed Mother or Mother. Yeah, it looks like a big budget art house film that I want to see.
Can you call it art house at this point? Because Darren
No, but that's
Aronofsky
what it
literally
looks like.
does art house with a big budget anyway.
Like it seems all art housey, and then it
Well,
turns
this
into
is
like
written-
Silent Hill in the end.
This
you
is
know?
written and directed by Darren Aronofsky, who is one of my favorite directors. I love a lot of his work.
Yeah.
And though I am struggling with the fact that Jennifer Lawrence is in this movie.
I think that's the caveat for this
But
film.
I'm hoping if like anyone could like make her go back to the way she was.
You mean
instead
be
of,
able
like,
to
Playbook.
act?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be Darren Aronofsky. I mean, he did wonders for Natalie Portman. He did wonders for a bunch of actors.
I think Natalie Portman was wonderful before Darren Aronofsky.
Yeah, but he pushed it to the next
He
level.
did push her for sure. Yeah.
And I'm hoping that he can push Jennifer Lawrence.
From-
Also, I'm liking the renaissance of Michelle Pfeiffer coming back.
She is. And, you know, she looks fantastic in this. Is anybody weirded out by the fact that, you know, Javier Bardem looks like he's 30 years older than Jennifer Lawrence? Is that just me?
It's just, I mean, in this day and age, like...
I mean, I'm just like, it's kind of like he wants to put life inside of her. I'm not okay with that. And like, I don't like Jennifer Lawrence, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. And like, it's got this cultish vibe. So immediately I'm just kind of like, so is he the cult leader? It's a cult movie. It has to be a cult movie.
Well, they give the whole movie away in the whole trailer, and I was bored to tears.
Do
With
they?
the trailer?
Yeah, I was bored.
Oh, okay.
Like as we watched it, I just sit there like, oh god, this
You're
is
like-
Rosemary's Baby.
But Chris,
remake.
you're like super bored of everything, though.
Well,
like you're like you're like the new hipster where like,
yeah, I
everything
just
is
hate.
boring.
I just hate everything. Well, I just felt I saw this and I'm like, oh, they're gonna give her an Oscar nomination, just because they give her Oscar nominations for everything.
What would surprise you in the movie, Chris?
If it's actually good.
Oh, shit.
If she doesn't get nominated, would that surprise you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Am I becoming the grump now? Am I out
You're
grumpy?
the new Z.
You're the new Z.
You know, at a time, me and Dan were sharing grumpy scenes.
No,
so
it's swapped. You were more positive, and I was way more negative.
Yeah.
But-
And so I feel like I need to buy, what's the word? It's like a scientific term where like you kind of just simply like you blend into everybody else. I'm just giving you my
So
hate.
you're a hipster now.
like
No, I'm giving you my hate energy is what I'm
do
doing.
osmosis.
Osmosis, that's the
Thank
word
you.
right there.
Yay.
Yes. It's hate osmosis.
yeah.
Yeah, and so
okay.
yeah. Anyways, I'm kind. You're right. I'm kind of bored with this trailer too. We don't see much, but we kind of get enough of the story.
I like the music and I like the font.
You know,
That's
and
the
you can't
new
go wrong
thing.
with
That's
the
the new
title.
thing they do. That's the new thing. They put the music to make it sound weird and kind of like dark, and then it's like.
But you can't. how
That
can
is
you
the
be-
number one thing about a movie is the font.
you can't get mad about mother. Like
Yeah.
that's just fun to say.
It is.
But also most surprising. We're going to toss it over to Chris. Your movie news of the week. Go ahead and talk about it.
The surprising movie. The #1 most popular movie trailer on IMDb.
Good job.
Yes, I had to slow down.
Everyone give him a round of applause.
Yeah.
Round of
Well
applause.
done. Well
Thank
done.
you,
He
thank
finally
you.
nailed
For the
that.
longest time, he was
I know.
saying IDBM. We're like,
Yeah,
what
I was
the
just
heck is that?
reversing things, but
Yeah.
that's just what I do.
I went to the website and got a virus. Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome. I try my best. So it's the #1 trailer on today is the upcoming action horror film or flick, The Monster Project, a recovering
Monster Project.
Yeah, the Monster Project. You have to put the.
Not Munster.
No, Monster.
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 Gotcha.
A recovering drug addict takes a job with a documentary crew who plans to interview 3 subjects who claim to be real-life monsters.
Now, of course, this movie where they find their subjects is off Craigslist. Another reason why someone should not use Craigslist is a
Craigslist.
perfect example of this movie.
This is
Because Craigslist, my God, there's so much crap that
I
happens.
thought
on
this
there.
was already established after the cannibal incident.
That's
What didn't people start?
point.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Go on,
Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I
Way
know.
to go, Z, you're bringing
Yeah.
truth into this joke.
Yeah. Well,
I responded to the ad.
it said, "Do you want me to eat you?" And you were like thinking about something different. And
No,
you were-
I responded to the monster ad.
Oh, I see. And then it
Oh,
wouldn't
okay,
get you
yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, I tried.
Yeah.
So, anyways, this trailer looks like a weird Buffy the Vampire Slayer TV show.
Well, it's a found footage type of movie. Where
Blair Witch.
It's a documentary,
Yeah.
supposedly.
It looks like a serious What We Do in the Shadows.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
maybe
Except with
not
more of a
as-
VHS type of
Yeah,
feel to
a
it.
VHS is a perfect.
But one thing I did like
Yeah.
about the trailer for the Monster Project, the special effects actually looks pretty good. Like I like the makeup. Yeah.
Well, the only thing that looks good is the creature.
It's like a werewolf.
the
like
werewolf
werewolf.
creature.
No, but the vampire or something had like awesome.
It's like a demon thing.
Yeah, like a
or-
demon thing.
Yeah.
That was looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Again, I felt.
But okay,
I was
so
more like.
yeah, and the fact that it's #1 in IMDb or
That
IBDM.
that makes me question that website.
As it should.
Well,
As it should.
no. I feel like no. Well, you shouldn't question. You should never question IMDb. You should question IBDM. But
Thank you.
the problem is that a lot of the lists generated by IMDb is user based. So and I've seen a lot of those lists. Like look at the 25 most upcoming stars, and it's all bullshit. So it just it's just fan stuff. And this movie really looks bad.
It does.
Like it doesn't look scary at all.
But it looks like a dumb, fun popcorn
It
film.
might-
for Halloween. Like if it comes out in October, it seems
I'm
like
still
it'd be.
gonna see it.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Mike, we'll go watch it together.
Yeah.
No,
that sounds-
I'm
that
just
sounds
gonna
like
brood in my room and just like hate everything
You-
because I'm not gonna watch this film.
Because otherwise you get kicked out of the theater, right?
Wait,
Yeah, pretty much.
Chris, we're gonna review this movie. You're gonna be the guest on it. What are you talking about? You have to watch it.
That's true. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna toss the movie news over to my co-host Mike Stay.
Yeah. So it looks like Sony is getting sued. So there's
The
What?
end.
What else is new?
That's all you need
It's
to
just
know.
another week at Sony.
Excuse me. I'll go ahead and read the headline to you guys. So, Baby Driver's soundtrack leads to a lawsuit over inclusion of T.Rex's song Debora. So it turns out that I guess somebody at Sony didn't get the licensing to use the music.
Somebody didn't get the memo,
Yeah.
Somebody didn't do their job.
and that.
And I guess they're in the middle of like pointing fingers at each other. So
That sounds about right.
yeah.
Yeah, I heard that it was the son of the writer of the music that is the one that's suing them.
Yeah, it was the son of one of the band members of T.Rex.
Well,
so-
the lead singer, the one who's actually created T-Rex.
Yeah.
I think his name is Mark.
yeah, Mark Boson. Yeah.
Mark Rosen.
Yeah. Well,
So yeah,
sucks for Sony.
yeah, pretty
'Cause
much.
Nothing new.
Nothing
Licensing.
new. You know.
So that's
So always make sure you have licenses when you use music.
yeah,
The more you know.
exactly.
Now let's sing some songs so we can get some.
Yeah. Anybody know Debora?
I think it involves the name Debora in there.
Yeah.
No, I think
Does
it's
it?
the actual song, the lyrics, I think, because he sings it, and I think he's repeating the lyrics too.
Sing it for us, Chris.
I'm not going to sing it for you.
Okay,
Damn
let's go ahead and move on to Z, your movie news of the week.
Yes. So Rian Johnson tweeted, and Mark Hamill has now also jumped on this bandwagon to urge fans to avoid Star Wars 8 marketing. And I think this is I want to say this is probably one of the first times you've seen a director and the lead star of a film saying, don't watch any of the marketing things, which I kind of like. I know we kind of complained a lot about how meek and useless the trailer was for the new Star
we
Wars.
did not complain about that.
Fine.
Sorry.
I was speaking royally, like the royal asshole I am.
Yes. Like the royal bitch you are.
You think? Yeah. Well, my point being is this. So, what do you guys think about that? So, Mark Hamill posted on Twitter, I fully endorse this at Rian Johnson endorsement. Avoid everything you can from now till December. Dan, as the biggest Star Wars fanboy, what do you think about this?
I dig it. I know. I mean, if I could go in without watching anything about Star Wars and just go with a fresh pair of eyes,
Yeah.
and just experience the movie for the first time without any preconceived notion of what was happening,
Yeah.
that's great. You should do that.
Can you
Now,
do that?
I cannot do that. I commend those who can, because I'm going to be the one who watches the trailer like 1,000 times.
You're going to watch a trailer a dozen times. You're going to read all the movie news
The
behind
thing
it.
is, that's one thing I don't do. I don't read any movie news about the movies itself. I just watch the trailers, and that's it.
So
I don't watch the TV spots. I don't watch like if they're purposely on TV, I'll change the channel. I'll watch like an international trailer or like the trailers themselves, but I won't read any articles. I won't watch any TV spots or any like behind the scenes stuff. Really, I'll just mainly for the trailers.
Do you do it because you don't want it to spoil?
No,
for
I
you,
just
or-
I just want. Like for me, for the marketing that works for me, just the trailers. I don't need to watch anything else. Anything else is just a bonus
Interesting.
I could watch
Yeah.
after I watch the movie. But the
okay.
trailer itself, I do want to get a sense of what I'm getting into.
Hey, Dan. Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker needs you. And he's asking you to be celibate for Star Wars.
He does not need me.
You need to do this.
He does
does
need
not-
you.
he
He
does
does
not
You
need
you are our only hope. You have to do this. I will do this with you. I will literally
Oh
avoid
no! Don't do
you.
that, please.
No, I think we all should do
Oh,
this.
please.
I think
that's 4 months. That's
yes.
That's no.
Just seeing
Hold
you
on,
fall
hold on.
apart is all that is worth it.
I'm like, no.
We can
No.
do this,
No,
Dan.
No.
Mark Hamill.
Celibate for Star
I
Wars.
mean,
Hashtag
what campaign are you
celibate
running?
for
Let's somebody start this. Whoever's watching
celibate for
this,
Star Wars.
start this trend somewhere on Twitter.
Celibate
please.
for Star Wars.
Yeah, celibate for Star Wars. It's a thing.
T-shirt.
That's gonna be the new con. It's not gonna be Star Wars Celebration. It's gonna be Star Wars Celibate.
Yes.
Con.
Yes, absolutely.
Somebody get this to Mark Hamill.
Listen, I'm willing to do it if you're all willing to do it, because I really do believe that marketing has ruined film, and I will gladly go celebrate.
I didn't hate the marketing for Star Wars, The Force Awakens. I thought the marketing was great. So, but I mean, I get what Brian Johnson's saying it. Especially because he doesn't have control over the marketing. He doesn't have control over the
That's what I mean,
trailers
yeah.
that are made. It's not his vision that it's a trailer house that's cutting it. So I'm sure he's like, there are so many trailers that have been ruined
Yeah.
by their movies.
Yes.
Like-
no, the other way around. So there are a lot of movies that have been ruined by their trailers.
That's what I mean.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Thank
yeah.
you. And so I'm sure Rian Johnson is very cautious about his vision and what
Yeah.
he wants, especially with this top secret film that is Star Wars: The Last Jedi. So I mean, I get it. But it's not gonna stop.
Celibate for Star Wars, guys. Come on.
Nope.
Make it happen.
Hashtag
Hashtag.
Celibate for Star Wars. All right, so that would do it for our movie news. Let's go ahead and move on to the movie review.
I thought it was me singing.
Yeah, Mike is singing.
Mike is singing. All right, Z, I'm going to toss the hosting duties over to you as I will be reviewing Annabelle Creation.
Okay.
Take over whenever you get a chance.
All right. So the movie we're reviewing is Annabelle Creation, directed by David F. Sandberg, written by Gary Doberman. I'm going to call him Doberman. I'm going to go with Doberman.
Sure, go,
Yeah.
just run with it.
Just run with it. Starring Stephanie Sigmund, Miranda Otto, and Lulu Wilson. Do you guys think anybody else should be mentioned in this list?
No.
Didn't think so. All right, so here is the plot. Several years after the tragic death of their little girl, a doll maker and his wife welcome a nun. Why? And several several girls from a shuttered orphanage in their homes, soon becoming the target of the doll maker's possessed creation, Annabelle. I'm already bored. Depending on your spoiler-free review, so we're doing spoiler-free, live
Spoiler-free,
people here.
Yeah.
I will decide if this film is worth a dine-in, watch it in theater, a takeout, watch it at home, or a leftovers, rent Chucky instead. It's just better. Now it's Now whoever wins will earn a point. Whoever has the most points at the end of the season will develop a segment that will air hopefully at the end of the season. Chris, sometime in the future. Yeah. Eventually. Chris, since you are a guest, you get to decide on whether or not to keep the point or to donate it to one of us. Now, points do roll over, so if you get 10 points in I don't know how many years, you can develop your own segment without.
Well, granted, Chris, you've already had a segment of your own.
Yes, I
so
did.
you just got to do is win the Oscars next year.
I'm going to win the Oscars.
We'll see.
Wow.
It's already. That's
some trash talking.
We'll see. We'll see.
Well, because he won. I mean, I won, and I beat him my first
5 years. Yeah, something like that.
No, I won the first 5 years.
Whatever. And then I broke the streak.
There you go.
And then I took it right back.
There you
Yeah,
go.
whatever.
Like that.
Dan is a king of streaks.
I sure am.
That was good.
Yeah, streak somewhere else, right? Anyway.
All right, so let's talk about Annabelle. Rate this film, Chris. Since you're a guest,
Take out. Watch it at home.
wait. Which one is it? Takeout?
Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, watch it at home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, take out.
Okay.
He said take out.
I did say take
Oh
out.
no, I wasn't sure. I was like, oh, okay. I was expecting leftovers. I apologize. Dan,
Actually, I would go with dine in. Watch it in
what
theaters.
in the?
Of course he would. Of course he would.
I'm being serious too.
I'm being serious too.
Is there a joke here that I'm not aware of?
No, Mike would go.
All right, Mike.
I agree with Dan. I'm the
What?
Yeah.
What?
High five, Mike.
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
Calm your horses.
But
You are not the winners of the show until I say you're the winners of the
No,
show.
no, but it's like
Mike's gonna say something important.
No, I was gonna.
No, he's not.
Yeah, I was
Do
gonna
you know
say-
Mike?
I was gonna say.
Yes, I do.
I understand. I think Chris read my mind. Yeah, I understand why his frustration for the film.
All right.
But
Well, tell me what's good about this film.
Well, this movie is, first of all, is way better than the first movie.
Yes.
The first movie is
the one that
atrocious.
did nothing. That one that literally like you sat in a
It's
room for
just
90
boring.
minutes.
Yeah.
That movie was so boring. There was only like one cool scene in the basement. Other than that, the movie itself was forgettable.
Mm-hmm.
This movie, it creates great tension. The lighting is incredible
the
in this
cinematography
movie.
is great.
Cinematography is great. They use the lighting in their advantage, where it's like light bulb will be going in and out,
Okay.
and you just see like, and then you see there's dark shadows and some like darkness, like that you can't see anything but you hear noises. It does a great job with that sense, with setting up tension, with setting up a scare that's not just a jump scare, like it's just like creepy and eerie atmosphere. And I feel like that it did way better than the first movie.
Interesting.
And it actually carries over the Conjuring universe, even
Yes.
like it continues the universe, so you feel connected with the Conjuring
How
films
so?
as well. Well, I don't want to give too much away because
Yeah.
it's fun little things. That
Okay.
happen.
It's one little scene that's a little like a tidbit.
Okay.
It was cool. I was like, oh, I like that. It was
Okay.
really quick, but it was really cool.
All right. Mike, what did you really like about this film?
I think it's just a fun. As far as horror, I think it delivers what it sets out. It delivers as a fun horror film to see in the theater. It's a fun audience film. I feel like if it doesn't bring anything new to the table. So if you're expecting like stellar writing, stellar dialogue, you're not going to get any of that.
Okay.
But if you're based on the trailer, if you're expecting like jump scares and not only jump scares, but just some truly horrifying moments that are fun.
Okay.
And by the end of the film, I was satisfied with it.
Huh.
So for me,
For you, yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah. And there are a few scenes that I was like, wow, that was. And I can't go too much into detail without just spoiling the film.
Okay. Chris, how was the story for you?
The first half of the film was great. It had me. It told me the story. It was like a Japanese horror film that slowly builds up the tension. It tells you the story it's giving you, and then they just go like 180 somewhere else. I was like, oh, we're going into that whole.
They go like haunted house. Like
yeah, it's like the cheap tricks in horror films that they go into, and you're just like. Ugh. So there was one point where I was sitting there like, when is this movie over?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will say that the cast, especially the lead girls, they were really good.
Yeah,
they were really good actresses.
all the girls were really good.
So what you're describing, Chris, is that like it doesn't earn its second half.
Nope. It doesn't.
But you guys feel like it did earn the second half, or do you feel like it fell apart, like Chris is saying?
It fell apart.
Well, that's
I
what-
never
that's-
fell apart.
I feel like it was a fun collection of horrifying scenes.
Interesting.
And that's like, if you take it for what it is, you can enjoy it. If you're expecting something more than that, you'll be disappointed.
Oh, okay. Would you say that this movie would have worked better if it was like a vignette style, like VHS?
No, I think it works well as it is. I think it's you can enjoy it for what it is.
Okay.
So
And-
the movie starts off, and it movie
tell me the
starts off with the older couple, and they have a young daughter, and it's cool because it starts off with her playing, like, her dad's working. He's a doll maker, and he's the guy who created Annabelle.
Yes.
But the daughter, while he's working, leaves a note under the door saying, "Find me." And so, like, he stops what he's doing. He goes, looks for her, and he finds another note that says, "Closer," and then he writes. He finds her, but he doesn't find her. He puts a note down saying he found her. Anyways, they use that again. So
the note, right?
Yeah,
Right.
the note, and they use it in a very creepy way. Because at first it's like an innocent, cute little thing, and then they turn it.
They
turn its head.
It's
Yeah.
the ghost.
So it's stuff like that
Is-
they do.
is- is-
They
yeah.
bring it up. They set stuff up
Yeah,
really
they
well.
do foreshadow
and then they bring
really
it
well.
back towards the end of the movie. And
Yeah.
it's not just that moment. It's other moments like that they set up really well, and then
Yeah.
they pay off. There's
Yeah.
a good payoff.
I think one thing that you wouldn't like about this film is that it's very, like, inconsistent in terms of.
Okay. Right there. I want to
think
know more about that.
I think for you specifically, Z, like, I think it would immediately turn you off.
So-
by the film.
Why do you say that? Why do you say that?
So, the main evil spirit in this film, it can easily kill everybody, but it doesn't, and it has the power to. And you don't understand, like, the logic of the demon in the
Yeah.
world.
Well, you
It's like,
kind of do, but
I-
not
I-
really. I guess.
or I should say, I don't.
Because
As an audience
it
member, I'm
wants
like,
souls.
Yeah, but it's not clarified throughout the whole film
Yeah.
until one or two scenes, and you're just like,
But
and
well,
then you
it
just go
wants-
like this. You're just like,
Well,
really?
from what I gathered, it wants girl souls.
It just wants a soul.
It's a pedophile.
No,
demon.
this demon just wants a soul to inhabit the Annabelle doll, but it's not clearly said in the film, and so they go back in one flashback, and then you're like, really?
Okay, so tell me
Yeah,
about
that's
flashbacks.
true.
Okay, so the flashbacks are.
Well, it's only one flashback.
It's only one, but
And
they
it's a
needed
type-
more.
It is a type of flashback
You-
that it like
see it in
whatever-
the trailer.
well, whatever plot holes you have,
You do? I
it
didn't-
fills it
yeah.
in.
Yeah, there's a
do.
flashback in the trailer.
Yeah.
Okay, so the inconsistencies is a bit of an issue. All right,
Mhm.
Chris.
But it's not that much. I mean, to me, it's not that bothersome because you follow the story
Yeah.
itself, and it's a fun ride.
It feels
Okay.
It is a
Well-
fun. No, I agree with Dan. It is a fun ride,
yeah.
but it's very inconsistent, and then you're
So,
just sitting there questioning.
They do introduce a new like horror thing, but they don't go as far as I wanted them to do.
Interesting.
Like, I can't say what it is.
Okay,
because
then-
it's a fun little
yeah.
thing. But
Shut
up. No, but it's like I wanted to go further with it,
yeah.
but they didn't.
Okay, so when you're talking about inconsistency, this is what I wanted to talk about. Lights Out, the movie. Lights Out, the movie.
Who's also director?
the same
who also
director?
directed
Yes, it's
Annabelle.
David F. Sandberg.
Not to be confused with Kung Fury's David Sandberg,
Is there?
which would have been interesting.
It would have been
So
interesting.
it feels
Yeah.
the same director.
So my issue with the movie was that it was very inconsistent in that it basically had a great premise, but it didn't follow through. Is it like this, where it's a similar, where it's got a great premise, but it just doesn't follow through with its premise? What you're describing, Dan, is exactly that.
I think you have to. I think what needs to be mentioned is that it's written by the same writer that wrote the first Annabelle.
Yes.
So that's what the director had to work with.
Okay.
So, but despite that, I think they still managed to create a very fun film.
I think they do a really good job with the visuals.
Yeah, it's very visually stunning, but I think this one is way better than the first.
well,
Annabelle.
without a doubt. I mean,
Yeah.
you're approving from shit. So
Yeah, pretty much. But again, it just falls.
But you,
flat
we talked about
after
earlier. You liked Ouija,
The second one?
the second one more.
the
right?
prequel.
The prequel.
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
the
oh, yeah,
Origin
yeah,
of
which
Evil.
is part two, right?
Yeah, because that was really the way they told the story. It's slow, but it built up, and
Interesting.
it had nice, like, simple scares, and it wasn't this blood and gore kind of torture
Yeah.
porn
Yeah.
that we're now used to.
So the
But it's funny because
yeah.
this movie is also a prequel to the first movie.
but this one
Yeah,
had,
yeah.
like I said,
well,
there's
no,
part-
technically it's a prequel to the prequel.
yes,
Yeah. So it's a pre-prequel. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
this
a prequel
again,
to the two
and
power.
my thing that I was critiquing too is like they start going into this realm of
Sorry.
a realm of like they go into like the whole like blood and gore kind of,
Yeah.
which I'm like,
I enjoyed it, but I understand why
it doesn't go with the story to me
Mm.
personally.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah,
just me.
I think the one problem with going that direction is that you don't get the sense that everybody's in danger.
yeah.
Or
yeah.
also like
Interesting.
what Chris said about his inconsistencies. They don't really establish rules.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
So
exactly.
the whatever rules that you think they start with, they don't stick with it.
Nope.
Yeah.
But if we want to be fair, I mean, like when it comes to demonology, I'm sure there's no real rules or anything. You know?
It's because there are no such thing. But okay.
I mean, there are people who study it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, yeah, they don't set it up in that world, and you think that it's one specific way, and
Well-
it's like, well, why didn't you just kill? You just killed.
Well,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then they go into like the horror tropes, and then
Mhm.
you're like sitting there like, okay, who's the final girl? And then you're like, oh, it's not the person who I thought it was, and you're just sitting there.
Oh,
like,
the final girl. Okay.
You're like, because like they kind of lead you into this realm like people are just gonna die, right? And then all of a sudden you're like, okay, we're gonna have a final girl,
yeah, yeah.
and then it just goes like.
Can you explain final girl for the audience who doesn't
Yeah,
know?
final girl. So like in most horror films, we have like the survivor.
Yeah, oh, the
who's
virgin.
the typical
yeah.
virgin, but like in this one, because they're little girls, it's like I guess the sweet one who is just sweet.
Which is the one you want to die right away.
I don't know. In this one, she
She was really good.
she was good.
Yeah.
She was good.
Okay, all right.
But I'm gonna critique another thing about this film, the hairstyling in this film. The one girl with the one that shows like she had the polio.
Oh,
They
yeah.
you see it in the trailer. That's not a spoiler.
No, it's in the trailer.
Yeah. Somebody needed to fix her hair because it was bothering me the whole film. And then you know,
Did she
there's-
need a new wig? Is that what you're trying to
yeah,
say?
most of these girls needed some new wigs, and then all of a sudden, in the last scene of the
They're
film,
orphans. They're supposed to look, they're
no,
supposed to look
and
like
it's just
that.
funny. The last scene, it's like you see a certain character, and you're like, "Oh, she got a new hair extension. She looks great. She had some work done." It's like,
Oh,
"Oh, now we have that."
all right.
Yeah,
all right.
that was just my critique.
This is a silly question, but who would win, Babadook or Annabelle?
Babadook.
Babadook. I'm sorry, Babadook.
All right,
No, probably Annabelle would win.
Well,
but-
no, because Babadook is like he has the gay following. Now.
he does.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does.
Yeah.
and you know the power of the gays.
I mean, better
They are
wigs.
powerful.
Better
they
wigs.
have better wigs.
Better wigs.
Yes, better wigs, styling, but the clothing in this film
Also,
was the-
top hats.
yeah, top hats.
That was good. All right. Any final words? Anything else that you guys feel like?
Okay, let me just say this. I think I agree with you both that whoever goes sees it, you're gonna enjoy it. However, when I went to see it this afternoon, I was in the theater at the Highland Park Theater. Just throwing a shout out.
Shout out to your
Shout out to
favorite
Highland Park
your-
Theater.
Your favorite theater.
My favorite theater.
Give
'cause
us
it's-
free movies.
so-
give us free movies.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's not ghetto at all.
No, it's not. Wink, wink.
That should
No.
be worth a couple movie
Yeah,
tickets.
I was there and I was sitting there and like I was more entertained by the kids who were watching the film. They were screaming at the theater like,
part of the
"Why did you
experience.
do that?
Yeah.
Why? Oh, you're so stupid!" Like they were screaming at the theater. I mean, at the screen, which
It's a
was funny to
spectacle
me.
in itself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
Yeah.
was more entertaining.
that is a part of the
Yeah.
experience.
Go
Yeah.
see it with teenagers because
Yeah.
they're talking.
Kidnap
But-
teenagers
I won't-
and watch it with them.
I
Yeah.
will give credit though because these kids, the girls in the movie are
Yeah.
little kids. They're like not even maybe 12, 13
and they're
years old.
acting the hell out of it. in
They
this
are,
film.
but you know they're kids, so they're gonna make dumb decisions, and it's understandable because they're not adults. So
and of course, like and in like
I wasn't mad at them for making some
no,
dumb
but then
decisions.
of course you have the other thing. The parents don't listen to the kids until
Or you mean the adults don't?
the
listen to
adults,
it?
yeah, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
they're like, "Oh, I should have listened to you in the in the beginning."
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
of
Well, that's
course.
a trope.
that's
Yeah,
another
yeah.
trope.
So this movie doesn't bring anything new
Nope.
or different, and it does have all the same formula that you're used to, but it does it very well.
It's enjoyable.
and it does continue that
yeah,
whole
it's
like
connect the
Conjuring.
universe.
Yeah, the Conjuring, and then it sets. I think it's setting up for something else.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I
Yeah,
thought it
for
was
the
well
Nun,
done. I
next
loved
year.
the cinematography. The
Yeah.
directing was great. The acting was really good, and it was a nice horror movie. I felt.
Yeah, it was fine.
All right. Well, I guess I have to. I guess I have to. I don't want to,
Yeah.
but I have to give this a dine-in.
Yay! High five, Mike.
I'm shocked.
I
Me
kind
too.
of.
Very, very shocked.
I mean, I'm kind
But
of.
you're still not going to see it.
No, I will watch it. No.
For you specifically? Well, I don't know.
Well, no, here's the thing. I actually enjoyed the second Conjuring. I thought the second Conjuring was actually much better than the first
Yes,
one.
I think
It was less preachy, and then on top of that, I forget what movie followed after that, but there was another film that I saw with the same universe. What was the one that would followed after this one?
Well, this
was
is actually
Annabelle.
this is
Yeah.
the fourth installment.
Okay,
so
well-
you have the Conjuring. There's only the four. There's the Conjuring, Conjuring 2, Annabelle, and the Annabelle.
Okay,
prequel.
well,
So-
Lights Out in itself was actually kind of
Okay.
entertaining, even though
Yeah,
it
yeah.
fails at its final premise.
Mhm.
And I feel like, they're entrusting their creation. They're entrusting their
Nice.
creation.
Nicely
on-
done.
Yeah, on good directors, solid independent directors who know how to work the field because they have not been corrupted by the huge Hollywood experience. And like David F. Sandberg, he started from an independent film called Lights Out and
On YouTube.
Yeah, on
Short,
YouTube.
short.
and it won a bunch of awards, and he made his feature. And you know what? Honestly, like I think they're doing a really good job of selecting the right people for the job. Sadly, they need to get out of this, the whole Conjuring universe. They need,
I think that's their baby.
Yeah,
I
that's,
think
that's their universe.
that's their-
They somehow made it.
well,
work in
they
this
can't
movie.
make a third part though. That's the thing, is that they're stuck in a
Well,
lawsuit.
no, now they're moving on to the Nun.
Nun.
so.
Yeah,
They're
The
doing
Nun.
the spin-off The Nun, which comes out next year. But you may be happy to know that they're continuing on with this formula. So the director that they got for The Nun is actually he's made a one feature length. It's called The Hallow. I haven't seen
Interesting.
it yet,
Okay.
but it was an IFC midnight film. So it's a creature film.
That's
So
awesome. That's
it-
exactly what they have to do.
So it looks like so it looks like they're continuing with this production formula.
But the thing is, they should change because in this film, you have the same kind of camera angles and tricks that you see in the typical
Yeah.
Conjuring and the
The
first
wavering camera work.
Yeah,
the one
Yeah.
consistent
Oh,
piece in that it would be the writer. So it's the same writer of
Interesting.
both Annabelles is now has already written.
He
The
has
Nun.
written it for them.
So
yeah.
the Nun's already in post production. So
Oh,
they're
okay.
finishing that.
Well, hopefully that should be good.
It's like
Cross
All
his
right, I will
fingers.
I will throw my hosting duties back over to Dan.
Yay. Thank you, Z.
You're welcome.
Great job at hosting, giving us points. No, I'm just kidding. I first would like to thank
I didn't
Christopher A.
want to.
Velasco for being on the show.
Yay.
Anything you would like to promote? Any art shows in LA or anything? Or stuff you want to talk about?
Let's see. Yeah, I've been working for the last couple years on this big retrospective of an artist I work for, and her name is Laura Aguilar. And that show is opening up on September 16th at the Vincent Price Art Museum.
At East LA College?
At East LA College, and it's an important retrospective of her career, spanning from 1979 to 2007.
Wow.
It's a large photographic, and it has some videos and all that. So I've been assisting with her for the last 4 years.
That's awesome.
So I've been doing that behind the scenes, and I think it's something important. And then there's so many other shows that I was a part of and worked on, like, for example, I shouldn't throw him a bone, but I'm going to do it anyway. The La Raza project at
Okay.
the Autry. It's another photographic show based on a newspaper and magazine that happened in, Lincoln Heights, Boyle Heights, East LA. That's an important show. And then there's a show with my mentor from CalArts, Harry Gamboa's show.
Cool.
It's called the Chicano Unbonded, I believe. Go check that show out. And then anything that has to do with Pacific Standard Time from the Getty, LA, go see those shows. It's important for a lot of artists, and I think anybody who loves and appreciates the arts, go see it.
Cool.
Go see it. If you're
Yeah,
in the
and
area,
then
go.
I'm disappearing to go to school for grad
No,
school.
we're sad.
I'm
You'll be
out.
back.
You'll
I'll
be
be
back.
back. I know.
You'll be back.
For what? The Nun, and then
for the Monster,
the Monster
Monster
Project.
Project.
There
the
you go.
Monster Project.
Monster. You have to say the Monster.
Monster Project.
Thank you so much, Chris, for being on the
thank you.
show.
Yeah,
We
thank you for
appreciate
having me.
coming. So thank you, Z, for hosting today
You're
and being on the
welcome.
show. Thank you, Mike Stan, for being on the show.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'm Dan the Man Muñoz, host of Movie Man Reviews. Thank you so much for tuning us live on Facebook. Make sure to also check us out on iTunes, SoundCloud, or Stitcher.
Instagram.
Also follow us on social media on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, thank you. Also on Instagram, on Twitter. Thank you so much. Until next time, guys. Our season finale is coming up.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that.
Soon.
I think it's in 2 weeks, so we have one more review left, and then our season finale,
Which will be a double feature.
which will be a double feature next week. The Bodyguard and Logan Lucky, or not the Bodyguard.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
No, the
The
Hitman's
Hitman,
bodyguard.
the Hitman Bodyguard and Logan Lucky. So until then, thank you guys.
2, 3, 4.
Goodbye.
The night dance.
I feel like only I can dance.
Yeah.
Only I dance.
Oh yeah? Oh yeah?
Movie menu, movie menu, movie menu, movie menu.